The plan for infiltrating Snap's thing and getting Healthgar out is that someone was going to cast invisibility on me, and then potentially also cast invisibility into a dragon shard. And then I was going to try and sneak in and, yeah, lockpick my way through to the back end, which Ghost has sort of described to me of like kind of where it is or how to get there. And then once I'm in, I'm going to break out Healthgar. I've got a potion of diminution to make him very small, which will help him sort of hide and be sneaky, even if he's not very good at being sneaky. And then, yeah, I think that's kind of the plan. I don't think you guys were necessarily going to be going in, but maybe you were. That was kind of not fully
Another
decided,
thing,
but that was kind of the plan is, yeah.
yeah, another thing you guys found out was that the teleportation circle, the king's like, yeah, this note is well and good, all approved, all whatever. Let me know when you want to use it. I'll get my mage to start up the circle, and after an hour, it'll be good to go. And so you've got that hour prep time that needs to happen. And so I think the idea was thrown around that you might message the king and be like, hey, we're on our way, get it going. Because a couple of things. One, you're not sure whether Healthgar is going to be one. You're not sure whether Healthgar, where he sits on the whole matter of things, because you haven't talked to him about it. Two, you don't know how the king or Lord Bucket would react if Healthgar walked back into the Citadel, and whether they'd be like, "Oh, sweet, he's back. We'll take him." House Galander, so Puck's people, have agreed that they can get two people out of the city for a price, and that's fine. And with, kind of a little bit meta, but it's like if you pay that price and you get them out, they will be safe. As a DM, I'm not going to be like, yeah, they left the city and turns out they're dead now. Like if you can get them to the tavern and get that price paid, that's a safe route for both Barlin and Helfgar to get out. And I guess the fourth thing is you don't know how Snap would react or whatever, that kind of thing as well. So yeah, so you find yourselves sitting outside, like just down the alleyway. You can see the iron door up the front, or down the alley. Sorry, and yeah, I guess. What do you want to do? How do you want to prep for this? What's the go? Because these things are. This is also the night of. There's been no long rest. And I think we just wanted to check in with. Yeah, we just wanted to check in with you as well. Any input you might have? Obviously, we don't want to get into analysis paralysis, but before we walked through that door, it wanted to be like, does Molokov have anything to contribute? Any potions, spells, knowledge, whatever?
No, that sounds pretty much like the plan as it stood before. Even I think in the session I was here, I think we'd loosely pretty much decided that this is the direction we want to go. No, I think it sounds great. I think if Puck's invisible, I don't think there's much we have to worry about, to be honest.
Yep. Fair enough. So what order do you want to do this in? Who's casting what? Because we need to start checking off spell slots now.
Yeah, I could burn both of my second levels and do both the invisibilities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't mind that. Unless you've got invisibility prepared today, Molokov. Hi, good morning, everyone.
No.
Hello, Michael.
Good morning.
I slept in a garage last night.
Because you were in trouble or because you got locked out of your house?
I locked out of my house, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in my day, we were happy if we even had a roof over our heads.
There's a couch in there.
Luxury.
A duvet. I was prepared.
We used to live in a hole in the ground with a tarpaulin. Yeah.
You had a tarpaulin?
What I would have given for a tarpaulin.
Well, when I say tarpaulin, I mean, of course, it was,
It's a fishing net.
That's good. That has to be one of my favorite skits.
Yeah. I saw one the other day, and it was like when you stay over at a mate's house and they don't have any blankets, and like one person has like a cushion as a blanket, the other person has like the ironing board as a blanket, and they're just like just anything you can find. You're just like
Family
we're
portrait.
sleeping in the lounge, like whatever. Yeah. Okay. So also, who has the empty dragon shard? I just wanted to check. You do. Okay. Yeah. I figured someone would have it. I just wanted to be like, this plan might not work if you don't actually have that on your inventory list.
Yeah, definitely still have a blue dragon shard. We've had that
Yep.
thing for a while.
Cool. And I think we've
Is there another
explained
one
it.
floating around the group?
There possibly is, but John, a dragon shard can hold a spell, and then cast it off without any skill needed. So that's what we think. We agree that Healthgar could crack it himself, and without using like an action attack and losing his invisibility.
Mm. I'm Dusty as. I'll give us my bit shot. Do you need a way in other than standing at the door waiting for someone to come in and out?
Are people going
I
in
have
and
6
out?
gold. And those people like to gamble. I can come
Are
up with a
people
good
going
enough
in and out,
excuse
Reese?
to.
Go again.
Are people going in and out of the building at all?
You kind of look down to the door, and it does happen, but it's not frequent. You know, like I'd say, like when you get there, you see someone doing it, you're like, sweet, people are coming in and out, and then you maybe wait 20 minutes, half an hour before someone else comes out again, and you're like, oh, okay, this isn't as frequent as you know, every 5 minutes kind of thing.
Up to you. Probably help, but I don't want you implicated. I think if this guy disappears and we're in the tavern, hopefully we're out of the city, but Snap will come looking, or whoever he's working for.
Mm. Shall we give it 10 minutes if we run out of other options?
Sure.
Because I can't cast more spells. Actually, hey, Malikov.
He's wandered off. Just like wanders down the street.
What was that? Sorry.
I suppose you can make me look like not me for an hour today.
Could I did not have that prepared either. I did. Yeah, if you gave me this evening, I could whip something up. I could also help you do the invisibility thing, but I feel time is of the essence now.
Yeah, fair enough. And then what are you going to do if it all turns to shit?
Molotov's usually.
Still got that horn of yours, Puck?
Yes.
Good.
Right. We're waiting
Well,
that 10 minutes,
well,
I
if
guess.
you're willing
if
to
you
wait.
blow that horn,
Yes. Hopefully not. Hopefully I can just get out.
Ah, we forgot one thing. I have to get in there because I have to message Helfgar and tell him what to do with the shard.
I can
Or
tell him what to
anyone
do.
with the earring. That's the only way it works.
I can tell him what to do. I can talk to him. But that works as well if you want to come in.
He doesn't know you're coming.
All right, then I guess it's you and I.
Ooh, gross. I hate this. All right. Just going in, playing some dice,
I think I should
losing my
be
gold.
invisible before I go in, though.
That's fine. So the process order will be
Yep.
to...
Because let's put it this way: this is going to matter what things are said from now on. You know, rather than being like, oh no, actually we would have done it this way or that way. Like this is how it's going to go, which is all well and good. But take the time to be like, if you need to cast a spell here rather than here, that's what's going to matter. If you need to draw your sword or so on and so forth. That's what's going to matter. Again, someone leaves the building as you kind of see that iron door open again. The slot opens up. That's probably something to mention as well, Molokov. That iron door, you have the eye slot for the password, and then it's 2 locks basically on the inside that the orc makes happen.
Sure. Ghost, I can't make you look different, but I can make you little as well.
He's not coming
Was that a
in,
little-
I don't think. I think he's just staying in
Oh,
the
I
bar,
thought
is
you
that
were
right?
saying. I thought you
Oh.
were saying you might have to.
I just have to get close enough to send a message under the guise
See.
of I'm here to make some money. You guys are off doing what we need to be doing. I did my bit. Now I'm gambling. And when I lose, I walk out. Hopefully about the same time that Puck's walking out as well.
I'll if I can get to you and we're invisible, I'll do this and I'll tap his back in like a bit of a pattern.
Sure.
If
Although things
otherwise,
turn
if
to
you hit me
shit.
up with it,
You got to contact these guys outside, and
yes, and they'll come in.
could be on our
I
own for a
won't
minute.
contact you. I'll contact them.
That's the one. I'll do my best to get to the door and open it, but could be tricky.
Right. Anything else, Hera?
No, strangely enough, I don't have much arcane that will be beneficial to this. Maybe
That's
the
alright.
rest of us just wait outside. A little bit less
Yep.
suspicious.
Yeah, and you
I
can get
can-
close to be like 2 shops down the road kind of thing. Like you're basically within. If it comes to it, you could get there on that first turn, basically.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Jalou?
Do you want? I was just going to say that I could, like, if it makes sense, I can be in there with Ghost as far as just watching him gamble and being like, dude, you've lost too much, let's go. Like, if it's helpful to have a second person in, standing there being intimidating, or I can be outside with the others. Like, it just depends what's going to be better.
I'm happy with you.
I'm happy either way.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. And Ghost, before we go
All right.
in,
not bad.
I would say Ghost and Jalug will go in for Ghost to gamble, and when we go in, Puck sneaks in invisible with us, I guess.
and
Okay.
Ghost, if you can hit me with a guidance or something before, right as we get
I
through the door,
cannot.
that'd be great.
I'm going to be concentrating on your invisibility.
It's
I
not-
can.
You can do that, can't you? Or is it?
I think it is
guidance a
concentration.
concentration
Guidance
spell?
is concentration. Yeah.
Really?
Guys,
Okay.
the concentration.
Cool. All good
Yeah.
then. Don't worry.
It
about
only lasts a minute as well.
You also just can't. I think as the caster, I can't cast a spell, any spell.
No, you can't cast another concentration spell. That's all. You can cast other spells.
Correct.
Oh, no, you're right.
Yeah.
'Cause you're the invisible one. Yeah, that's all. Never mind.
Yeah.
I also have
No, all good.
guidance anyway. But
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, fucking you got it.
Sweet. Whatever. If the minute elapses and it doesn't work, then it's fine.
Sure.
So we were
Okay.
talking about this in the Stone Brew.
No, this is
Oh, I think we're in the
no.
alleys.
This is like
Is it-
down the road. You're down the road from the door.
Well,
Yeah,
you
so
fucking
you're gonna
did
hit me
it.
with invisibility and charge up the thing, and then we're going in.
Yeah, fuck me. Okay.
All right. Let's go.
So quiet corner DM.
Yeah.
Dark corner, maybe.
You're off to the side. It's a shady place. This is where you do shady
outside the
business.
door.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay. Before
Yeah, it'll be.
before we go ahead, the 2 people staying outside, Hera and Molokov, can you each roll me a d6, please?
Sure thing.
That's a six.
It's a 2.
62 goblins up there.
Happy birthday to you. 62 red dragons appear. Like one of those Skyrim mods that it's like whenever you say something on stream, they just appear and people try and get them to to say the words. God, it's funny. No, that's fine. That just kind of determines some things that may or may not happen. Okay, so Ghost, you cast invisibility into the dragon shard. Get that out of the way. That's got no time limit on it. There is a spell stored in that shard, and you could mark that off your spell slots. You then turn to Puck, and yeah, like you find like a little kind of nook down this place, this alley, and do what you need to do to cast invisibility on Puck, and you see his image shimmer out from vision. You and Jalug approach the iron door. As you do, you kind of knock on it, and the slot goes backwards. Were you disguising yourself, Ghost, or you're just going as Ghost?
We do not have the ability to just
That's fine.
disguise me.
That's fine. The orc opens the door and looks at you guys. You do remember that the password is salt in the water. Do you just kind of say it straight?
Playing for coin. Stuff on the water.
So he gives you a kind of a look up and down, gives a bit of a laugh. Slot closes. You hear the two locks, 1, 2, and the iron door opens inwards as you, Jaloo, and to no one's knowledge, Puck enter the building. So, we may as well do this.
I'll say sideways to the orc as we walk past. I'm walking out rich or broke. You try to figure out which one.
Give me a charisma check.
Yeah, go on.
So you should be able to see the room that you enter in, that main tavern room. You can move around, and the lighting should have an effect on there. I've got Hera Molotov in the corridor because otherwise you'd be able to see the outline of the whole complex.
That's so cool. I love that.
Yeah. So if you move around a little bit, if you use your arrow keys, Jono, that those pillars in front of the bar should go around.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So neat,
All right,
right?
cool. So forget the rest of the RP. We're just going to play and move and game.
Doors should block you until you open them. So I mean, don't try and move around too much, but it should work that you can only go down corridors and you can only see what your character sees, not others. But yeah, so the beauties of playing online. This is that main tavern area. You see down towards the south the bar with the auto gnome behind it, sliding up and down the bar. Just a quick recap as well is to the south, this door here, that leads to the kitchen. This door over to the southwest, that leads to Snap's office. Which, to be fair, I'll open that for you because you've explored down there. That leads down to Snap's kind of facility. Remember, this is kind of a converted tavern. He's obviously made it his own. Over the side is those two alcoves with statues, two dwarven statues. They're in disrepair. They look like they haven't been taken care of or cleaned or whatever. And then this door here is the one that interests you. This is the corridor that leads down to Helfgar. In this room, you see a mix of warforged, altered, ne'er-do-wells that are sitting around tables, playing cards, playing dice, causing a ruckus. It's getting late in the night, and they are definitely intoxicated and making a bit of a mess of things. What would we like to do?
Roll a 14, by the way.
A 14 on.
Yeah.
What did I ask for?
You told me to
charisma.
roll a charisma check.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, what have I asked for? Cool. Yeah, the orc at the door gives you a nod, and you can tell that he is the one that sees people come and sees people go and sees people leave on not the best circumstances as well. But he just gives you a nod and goes, "Well, good luck. You'll need it."
Saunter on in.
I'm going to the door that, sorry, I know you said like it matters what we've said kind of thing, but like
Yep.
you kind of said before, we talked about Ghost has sort of told me where it is and which way to, not that he knows the whole layout, but he's like, it's that way. And it's, there's like a couple of doors in the way. And
For
so
sure.
I'm going to the door that is the important door.
Yep.
And I'm getting my picks ready. And I'm probably starting to do it as quietly as I can. But I'm hoping that, these guys can make a bit of a ruckus in here to make some noise so I can get it done.
Yeah, so what I want to know is what that distraction is, because that'll determine your stealth roll. So what are you, Angelou, doing? Puck's headed towards that door. You can see it, and you can obviously see that it's closed. You might notice when it opens, but also at the moment, other people would probably notice a door opening and closing to a staff-only area that Snap came from.
Kind of.
So is there gambling taking place?
There is.
On one of those tables?
On all tables, different games are taking place. Probably the same ones that you guys discovered at the other tavern.
So I'm going to aim for the table. What are they playing down the far bottom right? What does it look like they're playing?
Just bringing it up now. There we go. Oop. The bottom table, they are playing Giant's Finger, the strength-based game.
All right. Sort of tap Jalug on the leg and point over. Like,
Yeah.
that's about the right game for us, don't you think? Well, that's yours. Slightly too loudly in this room.
I start cracking my knuckles. I'll walk over there. Well, yeah.
So went on over
Giant's
and way
fingers,
too loudly. Oh, sorry, go again.
Yeah. Giant's fingers, sir. I got next. Crack, crack, crack.
All right. You walk over to this table and you see two patrons. One a full-blown Warforged, and the other that has two mechanical legs, but human arms and torso and head. It goes over and they look up to you and go, "You think you can beat the champion? Well, which of you will come up, and how much are you putting on the table?"
Looking at the money, can I get an idea of, like, I don't want to go like, here's $300, and they're like, whoa, no, dude, we play for like $10 kind of thing.
Yeah, it's definitely in the realms of 5 to 10 gold per round.
Yep. Okay.
I'll sort of slap my hands down on the table. Be like, I'm a man with not a lot to lose tonight, so I'll tell you what. We're going to go 5 gold on the round. Each round we win, we'll double it. Double or nothing. Every single round.
Okay. He looks,
of course.
looks down at you and is like, considering it, and then you point over to Jalug and you see them kind of like do that look up and keep looking up and keep looking up and being like, oh, okay, this guy's sure. Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah. I'm terrible at that. Thought so. It's a 10.
A 10 is fine, not to turn things sour, Ghost. As they look at you, look at Jalug, and the Warforged kind of steps forward and goes, "Don't worry, I'll take this one," and slaps 5 gold down on the table for round 1.
What a sort of turn and yell over the barkeep. trying to be sort of as obnoxious as I can, just to yell, "We're going for broke, boys! Bring us around to the table, Barkeep."
Looks over and is like, please, don't yell. It's quite rude. And starts pouring some drinks. But you gain the attention of some people around, and Puck, you see that this attention is, what the heck is going on that table down there? So what I'll do, we'll jump to Puck now, and this lock in front of you is pretty standard. It's put an iron key in, turn it. You could probably easily replicate it. So there's not going to be a lock picking skill, but it's going to be a stealth skill to see if you can get through the door without anyone noticing. So I just need a straight stealth check. And what have we got here? Perception +4. This will be rolled at disadvantage.
25 for me.
Of course it is.
And while you do that, Reese, I'm just going to... I have an item that I am attuned to called the Amulet of Proof versus Detection and Divination.
Oh, yes.
Damn, son.
So Amulet of Proof against Detection and Location. That's what it's... Sorry. While wearing this amulet, you are hidden from divination magic. You can't be targeted by such magic or perceived through magical scrying sensors. So I'm invisible, and I believe the way that I interpret that, at least, is I'm essentially invisible to, like, magic, arcane eye and things. So I think if I set off a magical, if I set off a lock that has like a thing in it, it will go off. But if there's like a sensor that's going to like try and spot me, it can't see me.
Understood. That is fine. These people are fully taken aback by this commotion that is going on down the other end of the tavern. And you click the lock. Again, not hard, and kind of do that thing where you swing around the door, open and close it, and you hear it lock behind you. But now you're on the other side. You see that it's one of those things that if you turn the handle, it'll unlock it as it opens the door.
Yep.
And so... you see this corridor in front of you. So I'll just get you to move one square down at the moment. And we will go back to the game where, Jalu, you kind of sit down opposite this Warforged, and you pair up with him. And it's basically an arm wrestle. You put your hands on the table. It is very straightforward. You can use athletics or strength, and it is a roll-off. It is highest number wins, but you can use a feint to use sleight of hand instead, and if you're successful, you will get advantage on your strength check. If you are not successful, they will get advantage on their strength check. So, 5 goals on the table, puts his arm down, and he is...
I think the first one, I'm not fainting. I think first one, it's just a straight up check. It's a test to see how it goes.
Yes. All right.
Because I don't know if I need to do anything special.
Yeah. You lock arms, and you're just going to go straight roll. I'm going to see if I faint or not. And the wrestle begins. So if we can do a strength or athletics check.
I'll do athletics.
Yep.
Good. 16 plus 6 is 22.
Lock arms with this Warforged, and another thug comes over and is like, all right, on the count of 3, and just yells out 3, and you feel the Warforged lock in straight away, but your reflexes are good enough, and you slam his arm down into the table. With only a total of 15, you would easy win on that one. Slammed it, and some people cheer, some people kind of boo you, and the Warforged goes, I wasn't ready. Another, and puts the arm up for another roll. As we do this, Puck, we're going to treat this as a turn. So what would you like to do? You're muted.
Sorry, I'm moving as fast as I can, kind of thing, because I don't want to be here long. And I do have a general direction, so I'm not sure what that is myself, but like Puck knows roughly where he's headed.
Yep. So
So
your understanding is that it was the room directly north.
yep.
So do
He
you want to do
probably
your
will-
30 feet?
Yeah. Well, that's sorry. Okay, 30 is to there.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna dash. So
Yep.
I'll move up and I'll look down the corridor.
Yep. Give me a perception check, please.
15. Sorry, perception is +8, so 23.
23. To your right, the east of the map, you see the room that Ghost had described as there were beds that had been old tavern rooms converted into what almost look like surgical tables, tools hanging from the roof and stuff, but the door is shut. That is down here. To the left, you see a long corridor with a couple of different corridors coming off it. 1, 2, 3, 4. You do know that down there is the room where they're holding some prisoners, and that large dining area that looked like it was almost used to be a royal hall or so, for special guests kind of thing. And then directly in front of you is another room that looks like it is a full-on wooden door with a more intricate lock attached to it.
Yep. What's this?
What's
Like
this?
an enemy? Yeah.
If only I had put that on the right layer. You see a chandelier in the middle of the corridor, and you know what? With a 23 as well, and because my faux pas, you see it kind of rotating, and it's got gears in it, and you see that the chandelier has sharp edges on it as well, and it almost looks like it's not patrolling, but sensoring up and down this corridor. It's checking, almost like with a little bit of a spotlight. You can tell that
Okay.
it is a sentient being, but you are invisible, so you don't have to
Yep.
worry at the moment.
All good. I will do the rest, I guess, more movement up to here.
I
Yeah.
love that.
To
You
the
can
panel.
tell that the chandelier is a sentient being.
Yes, because it has a red
Um,
ring around it and hit points.
I would like to now try and so I've moved, and I guess I'll bonus action dash, and then with my
Yep.
action, I'd like to pick up the next lock, or listen through it kind of thing, and then pick it kind of thing.
Understood. So this lock is a little bit more intricate, and
Mhm.
for the first, anything you got going to do to give yourself advantage or anything?
I don't think I have anything that lets me do that. I'm just really sneaky, and I'm pretty skillful, so I don't think
Sure.
I can do anything to give myself advantage.
So you take a look at this lock, and it has definitely been custom made for this room. This is definitely a room that used to just be a cupboard or storage or whatever, and has been made to hold someone in it. So I'm going to get you to give me the sleight of hand check with your proficiency bonus with your tools.
Mhm.
And the DC
Yep.
is 20.
Well, I rolled a 17 plus 8.
Easy done. Easy done. Slot your lockpicks in, do a click, and we jump back to the table for round 2 of this game. This Warforged slams it, the camera almost cuts straight back, and everyone's kind of like looking over a little bit now, slams his arm down, and another, and puts 5 more gold on the table. So now there's 10 gold down there.
Again, like slap Jalug on the side of the shoulder. That's my man. You're a champion, huh? Perhaps a beer that wets your whistle will really really allow you to show us what a champion is made of. And I'll wander over towards the bar to grab beers.
Yep.
And as I do, reach down to the airing and just sort of look over in the direction of that door, and as quickly as I can say, "Friend coming. Stay quiet and listen."
So you direct this towards Halfgar in that north room. Let me check something real quick.
There is a verbal component.
Yep, I understand that.
Okay.
Okay. You grab your earring and you kind of like do that lean on the bar, put your head down a little bit, and you say, Brendan coming, stay quiet. And you get a weird sensation. The sensation is that your message has not been received as you point it in the direction north. Puck, you open the door and swing it open, which I'll open it for you. And you see an empty room. There is a rug on the floor for sleeping. There is this is definitely the room that Hera described in the scry. There's a couple, like there's an empty plate. There's a couple of notebooks and stuff around, and it looks like it is being lived in, but the room is empty.
I'm
Jaluk.
gonna grab the notebooks.
Oh, go on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. I'm gonna grab the notebooks, but yeah, go back to Jaluk.
Yeah, Jaluk, you lock arms again with this guy, and we are going for another athletics check. Are you feinting this attack?
No, not on this one either. I think I just go straight.
Straight roll.
Oh, sorry.
What'd you get?
9 plus 15.
15. Lock arms with him again, and you're expecting this referee, obviously in favor of him, to do the same thing. Count to 3, but just yell out 3 real fast. And you do, and you lock in, and your muscles tense, and you feel your arm slam into the table with a 22 on his roll. You think, okay, that first one was a bit off guard, but he definitely has a meta. He's got a good bonus. He just rolled low. And you feel that bicep kind of turn in your way that shouldn't turn, and oh shit, I was not expecting that. And the crowd erupts. They're cheering along this guy, and it's like, oh, now he's in the game. Now he's in the game. That's right. They start collecting the gold on the table. Back to Puck. This room sitting empty. You grab some of the notebooks and stuff and look around, and it's windowless. Give me an investigation check, actually.
Investigation. That's a 18.
18. Someone's been in here recently. It's very recent that someone has walked out of this room. And again, you guys were here hours ago, and you knew that someone was here, but it looks like they have been moved recently.
Okay. Shit. Shit. I'm going to go back down.
The chandelier does not notice you again.
Yeah. I guess I want to go... So what did you say was on the eastern side?
So that was the rooms where there definitely was surgical beds and tools and stuff like that. It looks like that's the operating area.
Okay, probably not.
Or that was what was described to you.
Yep. I guess I'm going to come down this way. Cautiously looking at this thing as I get closer to it.
Yep. You can see that it definitely is hanging, and you can see that it's on rails, so it can go up and down the corridor. And it kind of, occasionally looks around, and it's a security system, basically.
Yeah. What did I walk past here? What's down there?
So down there again is, at the moment, every corridor that you walk down is one with just a door at the end, and your choice if you want to open it or not.
All right. I think Puck is thinking that it is unlikely that the security system is, but the person they're probably trying to hide is on this side of the security system. He's probably down as far away as possible.
Yeah.
So he's gonna move under this thing, and as I go, I want to kind of look at it and see if I can kind of Yeah, you said I can see it looking. I guess I'm trying to spot the bits of it that are the sensors.
Yep. Yep.
And sort of just taking a note of that in my head that maybe I'll try and come back and disarm it or something like that. But
Sure.
just at the moment, kind of keeping a beady eye on it.
Tell you what, give me an investigation check against its AC.
Well, probably not the best time to get it, but that's a natural 20 for an investigation of 28.
Yeah, you definitely see that it's a sentient being, but you can definitely disarm it in the way that you could take away its vision or something without being seen, at least while you're invisible.
Yeah. Probably not going to do that yet, just in case that freaks it out. But at the moment, I'm taking note of that, and I know how to do it when I come back, sort of thing, if I need to. Because I think Pucky's aware that he's got this amulet, but he knows that the other guy doesn't. So he's kind of a little unsure as to what he's going to do. All right. I think I'm going to keep going.
Yep.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 50. I think that's probably about as far as I can get on this turn, I reckon.
Gotcha. So back to the table. You can minus 10 gold either from you or Jalug Ghost, but you see that he lost this round, and everyone definitely backs this guy. And I will say that you guys have the full attention of the bar at the moment now. What's the plan?
All right.
Well,
How cash flow to you, Jalou? Just
yeah,
outside of the role play?
I've got money. Yeah, no, I've got a fair bit of coin, so that's fine. Well,
Alright, cool. Got it.
I can be putting the money down. That's easy.
Sure, sweet. That's all right. I'll sort of be wandering back over the bears. Hey, you just got lucky. 2 for 2. Come on, again, double or nothing.
All right, how much gold are you putting down?
I'll toss
10
Jalud
this
my
time, I
entire
guess.
coin purse, and you can add whatever you want to 6 gold.
I've got a lot, so that should be fine. I guess we'll do 10 this time. So taking the first time we did 5. Second time we also did 5 because he was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
But now that he's won, I guess he's probably more likely to go, "Oh, I could put more money on." So, and I'll say, well, I guess I better start doing this, and I switch hands, and I'll use my right hand this
good
time.
move. Good move. Give me if you want to give me an intimidation check on that.
Ooh, yeah, I'll try that. 18.
18. You see him kind of falter a little bit and goes to swap hands himself and looks at the referee and keeps with this. Well, he can't keep with the same one, but he was like, okay, and puts it forward. Go for athletics.
I'm going to. Oh, I guess I can't do sleight. If I did that, I won't do sleight of hand. So yeah, I'll just go straight then. In that case, that is with us. That's a 17 this time.
17.
And right when he makes the roll, right when they say 3, I'll say, "Come on," and slap my hands on the table after looking at it on my way back from the bar in just the right position to just move the opponent's elbow out an inch and bring Jalud's elbow in an inch. I'm going to use my flash of genius to add 4 to the roll.
Oh, so with a 19 on my roll, good, you did that as you kind of shift the table and slam him down. What I want you to do, though, Ghost, is give me a sleight of hand check to see if anyone notices you do this.
Fair. Whoop. 14 on the dice plus wrong page plus 5, so 19.
19. Yeah, no one notices it. They're all kind of moving around the table as well, and it looks down at the gold that he's just lost again. Can tell that they're getting to that point where they're now getting frustrated at the game, rather than a bit of banter kind of thing. It's getting to the point where, hold on, you've now won a couple of times, and they don't like that. and you can tell that some of the other goons around the bar are kind of starting to get a little bit more, okay, how are we going to deal with this if these guys are rolling us for 6, basically, but we zoom back over to Puck. I'm assuming at the moment, Hera and Molokov, you kind of are just waiting outside. You haven't heard anything, you haven't done that, you're ready to action if needed, but is there anything you two are doing outside?
Bumming a puff of one of his ciggies.
You're probably just like doing that, like standing to the side by a building, leaning up, just looking inconspicuous, having a cigarette, probably leaning on the staff, but like every couple of seconds or so, just sort of glancing up and just checking the door.
Yep.
Watching for.
I might even, after a minute of standing out there and sort of just seeing the odd, shady person walk by, I might just slip on the veil, the
Oh yeah.
the blank face veil.
Yep. Not a bad idea. We cut back into Puck down the corridor. Yes, you do all have those.
Yeah, I wasn't here for that session. I keep forgetting that's in my inventory somewhere.
Yeah, I guess I just got to start looking, I guess.
Well, that's the thing, is which doors are you going to open?
I reckon I'm going to go to the last one. That was kind of Puck's theory of like, all right, well, you've got some magic sensor thing here. You're going to put the guy behind that and then probably as far away as possible. So I'm going to go to the far end and go north.
Sure.
And probably, listen at the door, check it, and then unlock it.
All right, give me a perception for that listen roll.
Perception, I think it's +8. Sorry. Perception +8, so that's a 22.
Very nice. You hear nothing behind this door. You can hear a fireplace crackling, but no voices, no movement, or anything like that. The door appears to have a lock on it, but again, this is another simpler lock.
Yeah. Fireplace, I'm kind of like thinking maybe someone's sleeping here, so I'm probably going to unlock it.
Okay.
Quickly and quietly.
Yeah. Again, I would need the stealth roll rather than the lockpick roll, because again, it's a very simple lock. It's just about opening that door.
That's a 30. 19 plus 11.
I'm going to just run your own game separately. You open this door into what
out.
definitely looks like a set of living quarters. There are 2 sets of beds in here, shelves. There are weapons off to the side, some short swords, some spears. This is definitely a nicer room. Judging by the ghost looking around before, you probably believe that this is the room of the 2 higher ups that were in that dining area. You can tell that one side of the room is definitely dedicated to very much fire motifs. There's flames on the clothes. There's spells and stuff written on the desk. You do find a scroll of fireball laying out. You do see that there is definitely arcane sigils and stuff that adhere to conjuration. Is it conjuration? No. Whatever fire magic is.
Evocation.
Evocation.
Conflagration.
The other side is definitely more catered towards that of an illusionist. Very kind of sleight of hand, trickery of the senses, kind of motifs, very purples and silks and stuff like that. And you find a scroll on that side of the room of hypnotic pattern.
I'm a pilfer the 2 scrolls.
Yep. This kind of alludes you to the two
Yeah.
schools of combat that these compatriots might be adhered to.
Okay, well, that's not the most useful, but I guess I'll use the rest of the turn just to move again.
Yep.
15. Yeah, I guess that's probably me again. I'm back to the intersection there.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Ghost and Jalug. People are starting to get frustrated. People are starting to notice this game. And you see the Warforged lean forward and go, double or nothing, huh? Let's make it interesting. And he reaches behind himself and he pulls out like a how would you describe it? Pulls out like it definitely is a weapon of sorts and puts it on the table and goes, "You got anything interesting up for grabs?"
Does this, like, as far as a weapon, how good a weapon does this look like?
It's like a small warhammer, basically.
Oh, okay, cool.
What does it?
Well, I do still have my. Oh, here you go.
Looking at it, like how fine of a make does this look if I were to be like trying to put a rough value of what he's just thrown on the table?
Sure, give me a Arcana check.
Sure.
Just or straight intelligence to kind of work out the properties of this, if any.
My Arcana is awesome, so we're going to do that. That is a 19.
You see that this warhammer is very finely made, and you almost kind of are taken aback by the skill in which would be used to make it, until you notice just the little imperfection on the bottom side of it. And you can tell that if you hit something with this warhammer, it would probably shatter before the flesh of a human would. And
So
not in a good way.
Yeah, it looks fine, but it's all for looks.
But the other thing you notice is that two more of these Warforged have come down and are standing behind you and Jalug.
That looks like
Wow.
quite a mighty price. We were just playing for gold. You sure you want to make a bet that big?
Make it interesting. You seem to be two adventurers of wealth. Go on. Gold you can spend at the bar, but these things you can only find with special individuals. And he's kind of prompting you to put something forward other than gold.
Hmm.
Looking at all like my magic items, there's only.
Yeah, hold the line.
I've got I have my great sword, which I don't really use anymore. So it's
Sure.
but it's kind of for show. I go, and I'll lay it down. I dare say that this weapon's done a fair bit more damage than that little trinket.
Oh, nice. You see he shuffles in his seat a little bit, and this guy is really getting pissed off and looks at his two mates that are standing behind you and puts his arm down on the table. Well, let's fight for it then.
But if it's going to be double or nothing, why not two hands? And so my thinking is you link, and obviously I know it doesn't necessarily work, but it's because you're holding both, it makes it harder because you could still move them either way. It's just going to be
so
harder
you're going
to
to push against his arms.
He's got two hands. I got two. We're kind of I don't know. Maybe you cross them like that or something, and so it'll make the twisting harder. But
and then you sip out of the champagne glasses.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
it. I like
Very
it.
romantic. I don't know.
You put forward this idea that they have not even considered or anything, and it sounds like it's oh yeah, this could be seen for greater glory and all that stuff. And so he agrees to it, and he puts both hands forward. So I'm going to say we both roll with advantage.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that sounded cool. And I was looking through what can I do. I'm like, oh, I'm a great weapon master. When you wield things with two hands, I'm like, oh, but it's not really a weapon. But I thought I'll lean into that idea. So all right, advantage
I'll allow
sounds good.
I'm going to say you go with advantage, and he will just roll a straight roll.
Okay, cool. We'll see. All right. Well, that's good because that's a 5 or a 16. So 22 is my. I'm glad that was advantage. So 22.
22. You see the arms lock, and he's trying to understand this complication of the game, and you can see that he's thinking about it too much, and that's when his arms falter, and you slam them down. And Ghost, as soon as you do it, you give it like a little, cheer, and then you see the third one coming down, and they go, now I think that was a little bit unfair, trying to be all tricksy and everything. That's not how we play our games down here. And you see them kind of resting their hands on their weapons, and this situation is escalating very quickly. He grabs the warhammer and pulls it back to himself. He doesn't go for the greatsword. That was not fair. That's not how we play the games here. That's you took it too far out of proportion, and everyone is kind of, the noise has died down. Everyone's focusing in on you.
Hey, whoa. A friendly bet's a friendly bet. Is it not? All right, we'll call that one even.
Give me a.
Still, the man's quite a champion. And I'll reach.
I like my
greatsword and just slide
sword
it.
more anyway.
Sorry.
Go, Michael.
That's it. So I'll just reach forward and just grab the greatsword and just slide it 3 inches towards, edge of the table towards Jaluk.
Give me a persuasion check, Ghost.
Ooh, gross. Roll well. Fuck yeah. 19 on the dice for an 18.
Very good.
Love it.
The room is tense now. Puck, what are you doing?
So there is a door to the. Oh my gosh. So I probably have it. Puck probably has a general sense that if he goes south, he's coming in kind of that area, because I think we saw Snap go up the stairs or something at some point somewhere. The last time we were here.
He came from out of here, out of that
Okay.
long corridor that you came down.
I think I'm just gonna go. I think I'm going to go south then. Go down to that lock.
Okay.
Same deal. Listen, check it, unlock it.
Give me a perception check.
Perception. That's a natural 20.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Clear
Not
as
necessarily when I
day.
want them, but that's
Yes.
for a total of 28.
Sure. You hear clear as day what is happening in this room, and there's a conversation. You hear Snap's voice. You hear two unfamiliar voices that sound a little bit robotic, almost like one of those people that have smoked too much and they use the voice thing in the throat. And the conversation is definitely around Snap giving instructions. Oh, they came in and wanted a contract. I think we've got some use for them, but we've got to be careful with these new folk. They're a bit too ambitious. Oh, yes, I agree. The other voice says, let me at them. I'll light them up like it's there's no tomorrow. I was going to say the 4th of July, but that doesn't exist in this world. I'll light them up. Just let me at them. Now, Crackle, you just settle down, okay? You'll get your chance when you want to. You hear a third voice go, if you want me to send my spies, I can have them followed. He goes, Pop, I don't think we need to take those measures just yet. Thank you, Jono, for getting that. And he goes, you hear a fourth voice, finally. And it sounds dwarvish and old. Look, I don't know what your motives are or whatever, but I want to do my research in peace. I think what you're doing is, it's abysmal. You shouldn't be using this. And you hear a sound of a plate smashing, and you hear Snap's voice. You are spoken. You only speak when you're spoken to. We have you here, and we will finish this project. And I will, make riches and riches out of the people that need our help. The conversation carries on after that. So there's 4 voices in this room.
It goes simple, does it? I don't think I can take the rest of the guys in there. Like, if it was one person, easy. Even 2, but I don't think I can take 2 mages and Snap. Is the door locked? If I very gently try the door.
Yeah, you look at it. This is not locked.
Mm-hmm. Why are they having this meeting in the middle of the night?
You give a bit more listen, and you got an extra 20 as well. Like, you hear cutlery, you hear it sounds like they're having dinner, and potentially this is where they feed him, or they've dragged him into this hall. You're not quite sure why Healthcare would be there, apart from Snap has him as his property, basically. Like, he's kidnapped him, he is keeping him in a closet.
Hmm.
Just getting a tune up over dinner.
I don't really know what to do because there's nothing really I can do. I cannot get him out of this situation, and I can't go anywhere. I'll die. And fireballing the room is just going to kill the old sickly dwarf. I don't know. I'm at a loss because this feels like it's an impossible task. And there's 12 guys out there for even if we wanted to fight our way through it. It doesn't feel like this is really a mission that can succeed.
I mean,
I don't
you've
know.
still got 50 minutes, right? Just play.
Yeah,
the
I'm
game.
thinking, do I just go back and wait and hope that they finish their meal and send him back to his room? Is kind of my main thought. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably just going to be waiting for a while.
Where do you want to wait? In the room? In the
Probably
cupboard?
wait here.
Okay.
Sorry?
I said in the cupboard or here?
No, I'll probably wait here and listen to the rest of the conversation because I'm
Okay.
essentially undetected or undetectable.
Yep.
Listen to whatever parts of the conversation I can hear, and if it hopefully sounds like they're finishing up and they're going to send him back to his room kind of thing, then great. Then I'll react to that when that happens.
Yep.
But as it stands,
Yep.
I'm probably just needing to wait.
Okay. As you wait, we're going to cut back to Jalug and Ghost because I want to know what the next move is. It's now been 10 or so minutes. You haven't seen that door open again, but also things are getting you're getting the sense that another game could swing either way. Everyone has stopped their games now. Even the auto gnome behind the bar is kind of looking over, and you can see them starting to clear some of the glasses off the top of the counter. What would you guys like to do?
All right.
Wait,
All right.
Well,
Go for it.
there's no need to get like this. It's pure test of strength. Maybe you do better at a different game. I've got my strengths and weaknesses.
Tilts his head, listening.
So, I can't remember the name of the games. Sorry, I thought I wrote them down, and I
Okay.
didn't.
So
Dice
there's
game or the
Three
card game?
different games, but
there's dice game, card game, and strength game.
I've had my fun. Who wants to play some dice?
Sits back in the chair. Oh, I could go for a round of Dragon's Breath. Pulls out some dice, puts them on the table.
Yeah, we just came to play. We can lower the stakes. We can just pay for small coin, trinkets, whatever you're interested in.
You don't think
Tell
I
you
can
what,
afford big
I'll get
coins?
around for the whole bar.
Oh,
So,
you say that, and everyone kind of definitely piques their interest at that. That
we can't
will-
just rob you of your coin and not at least show some hospitality and have a good time together, right?
everyone
Such is the
kind
nature
of
of gambling.
starts to get on board with that, and I'm going to need a last charisma check from you.
Ah, why am I the one doing charisma?
Your
checks?
favorite, because you're the one
Oh.
offering everyone a drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that give me advantage?
It will give you advantage. You can roll with advantage. Go for it.
It didn't help. God, that's fucking atrocious. I rolled a 6 and a 5. For a 5. But I don't think it's gonna matter. I'll double on my words and say, tell you what, 2 rounds. Let's just have a good time together. I'll just use my flash of genius to add 4 to the roll.
Nuts. So that gives a total of 10.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. That is enough to convince them to kind of agree to it, and the autognome quickly starts pouring a lot of glasses. Puck, you listen into this conversation.
I've given the money in, so I figure that's fine. So you tell me how much to deduct after all the drinks and whatever. It's easy.
Yeah. You start playing this dice game. Puck, you hear that the 3 of them start to get into a bit of an argument. Snap is obviously giving commands, but Crackle and Pop are arguing with the best way to go about things. Crackle obviously wants to go in hot-headed, the full thing, and then Pop wants to go the more stealthy route and infiltrate and so on and so forth. You can tell that they've got a thing going, but this is obviously where they haven't progressed to take over the town because they can't agree between them about the best way to go forward. Give me just a straight D20 roll, please.
Perfectly even 10.
Of course, straight down the middle. After 10 minutes, you hear Snap slap down on the table and say, "That's enough. That'll be all for tonight. We'll rest. We'll take action in the morning. That's when we'll put our plan into action. We have the new recruits. We'll put the new parts on them, and we'll take it to the public. Alfgar, your work will be needed first thing in the morning." "No, I'm not doing it for you. I'm not doing it for you." Hear him get hit or something, and he, falls over. He's an old dwarf. "Back to the cupboard with you for now. Tomorrow, that's when we succeed." And you start hearing movements of scraping of chairs, and they're obviously getting up. What would you like to do?
I am going to... Where did I find those? Like, not where did I find the scrolls, but were they tucked away at all, or were they just out in the open?
Just kind of like there were scrolls and stuff on their respective desks, and you kind of shuffled through them and saw like, oh, that one is definitely one that is coherent and all that stuff. You can't read all the arcane sigils, but it looks like a full scroll. You know what those look like.
Yeah, sure. All right. Well, I'm probably going to just chance it that's not, I think, the very first thing they're going to walk into a room and notice is missing.
Yep.
So I'm going to go up there, and then I'm going to move past again and just sort of go over here and wait. And maybe even just like climb up the wall a little bit just to be out of the way, so if someone walks past, it's not too hard for me to... Or that, or just like, just trying to tuck myself away, hoping that when they come past, I'm all able to dodge and whatever.
Sure.
And I'm waiting for them to come, drop him off, and then disappear, and then I'll probably then I'll go in and try and do something.
Sure. Jono, I know you have to go now, but Jalug will keep in the tavern, and Ghost can kind of run that. So if you have to jump off, that's cool.
I've got plenty of money, Michael. So feel free to spend the if we need to go up a higher shelf of thing to keep these guys on side, we can.
You're muted, Michael.
Cool. What's my upper limit?
So genuinely, I've got like 1,000.
We're not getting that far, but cool. Yep, all good.
No. Sweet. The corridor, you see the chandelier sitting there, and when they walk out into the corridor part, you see the chandelier swing and like notice them and like watch them come through. But the two of them return to their room, and Snap walks Halfgar all the way back into his cupboard, and then kind of like looks in and goes, "You sleep well tonight, because tomorrow we'll need all your energy." Closes the door, locks it again, and walks out down this room to the south that you did not open. You hear the door close behind him.
Can I, because I'm watching, how far
Yep.
away is everything being noticed by this chandelier?
I mean, you got like a pretty high roll on investigating it. It can see down this straight line. All good. Hi, Anna.
Okay, so you can see the whole
Also, I
thing?
know. Yeah, down the straight line.
Okay. Yep. Sorry, you know what?
Oh, I was just saying, I know that Hera and Molokov have not done anything this session, so sorry that nothing's actually happened for you, but it could have gone anyway. But you are just sitting still outside. It's middle of the night in a shady place.
There's this slowly growing pile of cigarette butts next to Hera on
Yeah.
the window ledge.
But like, it's like that stop motion time lapse of them just sitting there like talking, and the pile's just growing and growing.
Okay, cool.
One of those ones where like the character sitting in the middle never moves and is just sitting there doing the same thing, but the whole world is just moving by quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to maybe like give it like a minute or so. Check no one's like, coming out of their room sort of thing. And then I'm going to go unlock that door again.
Yep. That is no check guide. You've done it before. That's fine. Cool. Swing it open, and you just see Halfgar, who you assume is Halfgar. I can show you a token, actually. Move him out of the dining room. There you go.
Yep.
Sitting in the corner, just head in hand. He's clearly just distressed and doesn't know what to do. Leaning up against the concrete wall.
Yep. Okay, cool. I'll open the door and I'll say,
What a cliffhanger for me to leave on. I'll see you guys.
See you next week.
I'm gonna have to. I'll watch the video on demand.
Yeah.
I'll say, Helfgar, I'm with Ghost. We're getting you out of here right now.
Looks up. Oh,
I'm invisible. Be quiet. Be calm.
what? Is this another one of these messages? Count my words. That's right. Hello.
Walk up and touch his shoulder and say, it's not a message. I'm here. Shh. Be quiet.
Give me a I don't know why I was going to say animal handling, but like, give me a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Dwarf handling.
It's a 14.
14. He quickly calms and, oh, invisibility. Oh, that is something I've wanted to explore for a long time. How?
Well, that's convenient because I have this dragon shard. I need you to be calm and concise and quiet. We need to get you out of here. I'm going to give him the dragon shard and explain how to use it.
Yep.
And then I'll say,
He
don't
looks
use it
at it.
yet.
Oh.
Just wait. There is a chandelier out there that has some kind of sensor in it, and I need to quickly disable it. And then we're going to head straight down that corridor at the other end of your door, straight down. You're going to wait there. I'm going to unlock the door, and then we're going to go out into the bar. I'm basically explaining we're going to go into the bar.
Yep.
The
No,
ghost
I like
is
it. I like
there. Yeah, Ghost
Yep.
is there. So is Jalug. Like, there's some of our friends are there, and Ghost is there.
Yep.
You are going to be
Yep.
invisible. You need to be quiet.
Yep.
You need to be stealthy, and we're going to get out. And I'm just going to say, like, I'm basically going to hold his hand the whole way
Yep.
down, so that
I
I
love
can't
it.
lose him and he can't get lost.
Yep.
And it's like, we're getting out of here.
Yep.
That's the plan.
All things that like would be taken into account, but also I can imagine Puck is like, this is the initial. Listen to me. This is what's happening. And you can tell he's excited. You can tell he's nervous and scared and everything. And he's holding this dragon shard. You've told him to wait, and he was just about to click it. And everything right now is like, everything needs to be followed to a T to get this guy out. And it's like explaining to a boomer how to download a PDF from an email.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Oh, is Reese gone?
he's not getting there. Oh, sorry. Am I still here?
No, sorry. I think it just froze for a second, and it all caught up really
Oh.
quickly.
And with that roll as well, I'm going to get a sleight of hand check versus
Is it just me, or is he doing this for other
AC,
people?
but you got like a natural 20 or something when you were investigating it. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, so a sleight of hand.
Yeah,
Something...
it's jumping in and out.
Sorry. Sleight of hand versus AC of the chandelier.
Okay. Sleight of hand. Well, that's a natural 1, which I will re-roll.
Oh,
And that's a 15. Sleight of hand is +8. So 23.
so
Being
walk
lucky
us through
is
that.
so damn good.
But what does that lucky look like when you're disabling this thing?
Yeah, I reckon Puck's sort of like, if anyone's ever done like rock climbing, and there's a kind of thing called a chimney climb where you like pressed up on either side of the wall with your arms and legs. Does that make sense? So I'm like spread eagled across it. And I reckon Puck is then like, he's drawing his, like something to like, be able to pop the jewels off this thing or whatever, like that kind of idea. And he drops it. It just slips out of his fingers a little bit, and he slides down the wall, and he manages to just catch it on his foot. And slowly brings it back up, and he's got it again.
I love it. I think that you've disabled the vision of the thing. You can still see the gears whirling, and it obviously doesn't realize it now can't see anything.
Mhm.
But you can tell that it's not going to detect you as you move through.
Yep.
And you go back and Healthguard is sitting there, and he's waiting, and he almost suspects that you're still in front of him, but he's not sure.
Yep.
It's kind of like waiting for instructions.
Yeah. I'm back. Okay, this time. I'm going to hold your hand after you do this, so just stay exactly where you are once you've pressed it. I'll take the dragon shard back and hold your hand, and you just follow me. I'm
Okay.
halfling. I'm pretty short, just so you know.
Oh, so about our height as well.
Because otherwise he's like,
Eddie.
oh, where's this guy's hand? Yeah.
Cracks the dragon shard, and you see that magical energy of the spell cast out from it, and Healthguard's visage shimmers and turns invisible. You reach out and feel around, and you feel like his arm, and then go down and grab his hand, and he grabs on tightly to you as
Yep.
well.
And I'll
You
grab
start-
the shard as well.
You start moving down the corridor back into the main tavern, and Ghost and Jalug, 1 or 2 dice rolls into this game again. they they win one, you win one, and it's still in good spirits. But you can tell if it was multiple losses, then they would probably start maybe sliding things their way. But you do notice as you turn around that door creak open and creak shut, and you can tell that Puck and hopefully Halfgar are in this room with you.
I think that if it looks like I'm gonna win one of these rounds, I might like. This is the blackjack kind of game, isn't it? Go to sort of 21, yeah. So I'll like hit on things that are stupid or stay on lower numbers just to keep it friendly.
Okay. I like it.
So I guess no one wins or loses either way here.
Sure. Puck, what are you doing to notify them?
Yeah, just before I went through the door, I would have been like, don't say a word. Hold on to me and be as quiet as you possibly can. And then
you feel that he nods to that.
Yeah. I've got him. I open the door and I'm moving down to get behind Ghost, and I'm giving him that pat and tap that we kind of talked about. I'm like, I'm here. And then I'm just like, pretty much from there, I'm probably taking us both over to like the door, like right near the door, sort of just like ready to go. I'm ready to go. Let's get out of here. Like as soon as he comes over, and I've got what's his face with me? I can't move his token, but I've brought him with me.
Oh yes. All right, Ghost, how are you reacting to that leg tap?
Very good. I will keep playing until I lose another round. Leave them a couple of gold up and say, hey, well, hasn't this been fun, huh? Good night of gambling always raises the spirits. About time for me to have a cigarette and find some sleep. You gentlemen, have a wonderful rest of your night. And I'll leave just 2 gold on the table.
Nice.
Last one's on me.
Definitely are a bit. They're starting to get a bit curious about where all this gold is coming from, and that's kind of what prompted the asking for items as well. But you guys have kept it at a good level of winning some, losing some. You bought some drinks, and together with you and Jalug, have made a pretty good team on this endeavor. But you take your chair and head towards the door. You go up the stairs, and Puck, you see them coming up. And the orc looks down the stairs and seems like he's a little bit surprised that they're both walking out with both their legs attached, and slides the door open. Hera and Molokov, you see the door opens, swing open, and Jalug and Ghost exit. The door closes behind, and they approach you down the alleyway.
I'll sort of turn my, like very subtly, just turn my hand backwards so my wrist is like facing behind me, and sort of nudge Jalug and say, right, shall we head home? Hoping that I'm going to get a tap on the arm.
Yeah, you get a tap. Puck might even just like hold your hand or something like that.
Yeah, cool, wonderful.
Oh,
Adorable.
Little assembly line.
Very quietly you hear, get out of here quickly.
I think as soon as we see them sort of coming out, we'll be like sitting up, standing up, sort of thing, ready to sort of just as they walk, turn and join and start walking with them, and know that we're on a time restraint to get as far away from here before 2 more people just appear with us.
Gotcha. Yep. So you walk down the street, and you're heading back to the tavern. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think we're going to the Stone Brew.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that by the time you're walking down the streets, the invisibility is going to wear off for you, Puck.
Yep.
Not necessarily for Halfgar, but you still feel his hand. But eventually, you guys start to see that kind of shimmer, and then Puck appears, and he is holding something as he leads Halfgar along. But you guys see that Puck's invisibility is worn off, and Puck, you would notice it happening to yourself as well.
Yep. I want to put Halfgar's hand in Ghost's, and then I'm going to be sort of looking behind us quite furtively, checking we're not being followed or anything.
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Just a 10, perception, 18.
18. Look around, check the rooftops. Definitely no one has noticed or has been alerted yet. But there are some city guards around and people about.
Okay.
If I
yeah.
do the math, and with my arcane knowledge, do I think we can get back to the Stone Brew
Just
before this is going to look? Okay, yeah, cool.
if you make a beeline for it, you can get in there. The barkeep gives you a wave, and you guys kind of head down to your rooms. And as you get there, you're holding this hand, Ghost, and you almost feel like you are.
As soon as our bedroom door closes, I turn around to the invisible mass and just wrap my arms around it.
You do. You
comes into existence.
Yeah, you go in for the hug, and as you do, that's when the invisibility comes off, and you see the older face of Halfgar, your old master, as he looks down at you. And he's already been looking at you for the last hour as you've led him through the city, and he just looks with admiration and confidence and memories flooding back into him as you embrace this dwarf that took you in all those years ago. And go, Caspian, it's so good to see you again. What is going on? What an adventure I've had tonight. This voice came into it. It was that one over there, the halfling. Can you imagine? And it just starts rambling and going on. And he looks over and goes, 2 tabaxi in one room. I would have never guessed that. Wow, just phenomenal.
It's a hell of a long story, but everything you've taught me has helped me all the way up to this point, and I'm so glad you're okay. You batshitty old fool. What the hell have you gotten yourself into?
He just kind of slumps down in one of the chairs.
1 second. Pull out the gem and true thing. I've got one more charge for the day, and I'm having a fucking see invisibility senses the rest of it.
Yeah. You have a look around, and there is no one scrying. You see that he does, because we'll say that he grabbed kind of like a little pack of sorts on his way out. There is magic coming from that. But other than that, it's just you guys and what you have on you.
Wonderful. All right. First of all, hungry, thirsty, water. Let me look at you.
You give him the once over. Give me a medicine check.
I don't know about that. Oh. For the first time I'm ever going to be good at medicine. That's +1. That's a dirty. It's a 19.
Yeah. He's not well. He has not eaten lots lately. He's obviously been sleeping on the floor, on a concrete room. Like, he's a bit worse for wear, but it's easy enough to get some food down here. Room service, whatever. You eventually get yourself set up. But he has a drink and catches his breath, and then he kind of looks around at you and thanks you for getting him out.
Everyone. Halfgar, Hera, Molokov, Jaluk, Puck. Dear friends of mine.
Pleasure to meet you. These are yours, and I'll pass the notebooks back that I grabbed.
Oh, thank you. He looks at you, Ghost, and goes, I am so happy to see you, but please tell me that you are not wanting to use me like they did.
Why the hell did you think that I'd want to do that to you? Everything you ever told me, it's beautiful, and what they're doing here is wrong, and I'm just glad you're okay.
Well, it is a wonder of what we researched. The ability to use, and he kind of looks over and notices your arm, Molokov, and goes, a wonder for helping those that need it. But the motives of, well, first it was the king, and I believed that we were, going to make some progress on this. But after being outcast all those years ago, and then for them to switch around, I should have suspected something. No, they're using it for evil, dare I say. I apologize to point it out, but your friend over there, it looks like he has been subject to it, and I'm sorry of the circumstance you came into with that, but I would advise you not to go any further. You need to keep yourself at the heart of the being. Well, you need to say something along those lines of you need to keep true to yourself. I don't know your situation, and I'm sorry of what circumstance got you there, but please, don't let it take over you.
Well, I'm sure as a fellow creator, you'll understand that part of myself is in this.
He gives a nod, understanding.
This was not done to me. I created this.
He definitely takes interest in that. Well, you and I will need to have a sit down and discuss. Quite
The more
amazing. By this
ghosts
point,
of me,
he's gotten up
I
from
would
his
love
seat
that.
and he's actually just like moved your cloak off your arm. Like you use it to hide it. And he's just like moves it off and looks around and kind of like takes your hand and looks under it. And
Definitely flinches as like the, every other reaction to it. He almost tries to keep the mark covered, or at least the defining parts of it.
Yep.
Molokov's a great example of exactly the kind of person that our work was intended for. This was not an addition, this was a necessity, a way to help. And I guess I'm sorry to pressure you. I can't believe it's been so long, but we just pulled you away from a very powerful man, and there's some things going on here that we don't fully understand, and I'm hoping you have the answers.
I can do what I can to help. What do you want to know? He sits back down and
You've been now with both the king and with Snap. I think you're the only person in the city who truly knows what both sides are up to.
I guess you could consider them sides. When the king... Go on.
I'm sorry, we're relatively caught up. We know of House Shirosco, and the man that the king was meeting with is Josu. We know who he is too. It's been a long 2 years.
Yes. He embraces you again, Ghost. He goes, it's okay. He almost starts to take care of you. Take a seat. Have some water. You're right. The king acquired me and my skills not long after we were chased out of town. At first, I thought it was a great opportunity to reignite the flame under my work. But like you said, you have met this Josu. A very devious, slinky man. I don't like him at all. Got in the king's ear. Convinced him that this was the way forward, the future. Got to admit he is a convincing person when you don't know the motives. I was put under his charm as well. Very convincing. Very smooth talking. Well, anyway, it got made... the responsibility got given to Lord Bucket to oversee this project. And that's where it, went south. Did well. My mind was exposed to... They tried to get all they could out of me. All they wanted was more and more and more. First it was an arm, first it was a leg, then it was a torso, then it was replacing a head. Programming they were talking about. I got scared and spoke up against it. That's when I got started treated worse. They didn't want to lose me. They locked me up. They got me to carry on my research of how to achieve this. And he goes on about how Lord Bucket was keeping him prisoner, basically. And then the visits from Josu, they would interrogate him, get knowledge out of him. How can we do this? We've tried to do it, but it's failed. So on and so forth. He then goes on to say, one day, occasionally they would allow me to walk the courtyards, and that's when I got taken. And you can see like he's reliving it not comfortably, and explains that Snap's goons basically took him prisoner again. And he explains that Snap had seen this stuff starting to happen, and purely out of greed for money and attention and power in the city, he wanted to do the same thing. Snap didn't know why this was happening or why it was a good idea, but he asked for alterations on himself. He asked for alterations on his arm, for his eye that was missing in a past battle, hack jobs, basically. If the king's doing it, then why have I not heard about it, and why don't I get part of the pie? And he finally says, he wanted to do a big push tomorrow. He had 4 prisoners that he had taken from the streets that he wanted to operate on tomorrow, do the full convergence from flesh to machine.
Oh, Christ.
But without me, he says, neither side can advance any further. It's I'm the one that understands it and can do it properly. He then goes on to say he would rather not go back to either place.
No, I understand. And okay. So what you're saying is that the king really had no part in this.
Not directly. I think his intentions were good.
He was fooled
But
by Joseph.
so was I.
It's okay, we all were. Right. Well, we're in a bit of a tricky situation. We do have a way out, though. Want to leave?
His eyes light up, and then the light disappears, and he goes, I've been chased out of town once before. It seems that Krona Peak is not hospitable to me anymore. And you see that he says that with a sadness.
You know as well as I do that I know what it's like to be not wanted in your own home. Guys, what do you think? Whatever step we take next, it's risky.
I don't think that Hrothgar here coming wherever we're going is a good idea. We are not going to be able to take care of him. We are also wanted. I think it's easier and safer for him to just disappear.
Way to spook the man.
It's probably worth noting as well, Ian, that one of the options of House Galander is you can pay them to get them out of the city, and you guys don't even know where they go. And that's for Barlin as well.
It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be... Sorry. Dale?
Oh no, I was just saying that was what the plan was for Barlin, so I assume we'll just add him onto that package.
Yeah, get a 2 for
Plus
1
1.
discount. Yeah, no, I think it's just safest for him. If we don't know, it's not a forever thing. It's just for now. For the next, even just a couple of months.
And I don't believe we mentioned anything about Healthcare to the king, so there will be no suspicion on that side. For as far as they know, they don't know where he is still.
Yes. I think it'll get messy if we try and take him with us. I don't know if we'll even be able to leave.
Not to mention Josu might be where we're going.
This is
It's very likely.
Well, Bucket knows we were here. He's gonna know that we came. He'll put the pieces together. But it means for
Yes.
once we have a head start. Barely.
I'd say at least by that time we will be gone.
I think
Well,
that in the scheme of things, Snap is not as big of a threat as the Emerald Claw. That's got to be our focus.
Especially now that he doesn't have Hulkra. Seemed that was
man
his
with all the power, eh?
only really foot in the door. Yes.
I face Helka talk to him.
Yeah.
We can get you somewhere safe. Real safe. And when all this blows over a little bit, I can reach out to you again like I did. Voice in your ear.
He looks at you and, he says, well, we've only just got back together. It's so nice to see you, but I understand. I'm so proud that you have become such carer for others. You seem to have good friends here, and, well, the world needs more than an old dwarf in a forge. It needs heroes like you. And he looks just directly at you, Ghost.
Heroes. You know I never believe in those fairy tales.
And that's what makes you different.
Guess that's why you liked me.
He goes, well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. And gives a little grin. If I'm doing
Punch
this,
him on the shoulder.
then he says, if I'm doing this, then I imagine that I'm on the run once more. You are going to make a difference in the world. You and your friends. And to do that, you need the right tools. You have it up here. But where I'm going, I suppose I won't have much more need for things like this. And he reaches into his bag and pulls out it looks almost like a little mini war pick, or not pick, but like, it's got that blunt end with the kind of curved edge on the other side. And it swirls down in adamantine down to the bottom, and there is a almost glass bulb at the bottom of this warhammer. And down the adamantine swirl is the dwarven ruins of a word that spells out valence. So like violence, but veil instead. And he says, this you'll be able to use to take on any problem that may face you. And I've just sent you in Messenger this item. And he will say, I was always going to give it to you one day. It seems like now more than ever. If you want to read that one out. Out loud.
Violence, spelled Vialence. This hammer has a glass channel running down its length. In place of a traditional pommel, it instead has an open hole designed to fit atop a typical flask or vial. While holding the hammer, you can use an action to attach a flask or vial to the pommel and draw its contents into the head of the hammer. Doing so changes the hammer's properties based on the attached flask of vial. Attach an acid vial, the hammer deals an extra 1d8 acid damage to the first target hit on each turn. When the target is an object that isn't being worn or carried, the acid damage is maxed. Jesus. Alchemist Fire, extra d8 damage. Some extra things I'll keep quiet. Poison, holy water. It is a like a
Yeah, so you can swap out
Yeah, it's like a ballistic knife,
vials.
except better.
Yeah, and he has in his pack 1 vial of each to begin with, but then you'll need to shop around for other ones or create and craft them. As he kind of hands it over to you and says, I think you can do some pretty incredible things. But always remember, it's not the items people carry, it's the intentions they have of what they do with it. So something very wise, he says, along those lines.
You've always been a sentimental softy. Kind of looks down, kicks his shoe, and then just like you see, like Ghost kind of looks at the floor for about 5 seconds, and just a single tear hits the ground, and he sort of, well, I had a good teacher. He told me the importance of doing things for good. Which is why I'm so sad that this is such a short journey and we only have this small amount of time together. But we're trying to do good. Without you, we can do great. The Chrono Peak, you're home. This is going to stop Josu getting a hand on anything, and we can help more people. What am I saying? And I fucking just lean into him and give him a hug again.
Nice.
So, sort of tuck it into my belt, look to Puck, be like, what's our timeline?
Well, if Healthguard's going to essentially stay here until whenever it is he's gotten out of town, I think that tomorrow, first thing, we go and ask the king to get the teleportation circle ready and get out of here. So
What are the
there's always
chances
going to
we
be
can
loose ends
expedite that?
wherever we're leaving. We're going to leave some loose ends, but I think we have to get to Shan and see what's happening with this crown.
It's okay. You know, I was kind of struggling for a while with the fact that we were struggling to help people. It all seemed out of our control. You're right. We do good by people, but every place we leave is not perfect. I don't know about heroes and valor and honor, but at least we're trying. We are doing good.
So I understand the plan is to go in the morning. Were you going to forewarn the king?
Well, I don't think we have the use of a sending stone today,
Not today, no.
unless
If you sleep, the earring will regain the D4 charges of message, so you can send them a message.
Message's range is pretty short, though. You'd have to get...
120
that's
feet,
true.
yeah. Not enough.
Yeah.
Wait. Actually, I think we've already built something for this. I look at Molokov and the half guy. Let me show you some of the things that we've been working on. And I think I'll give it a shot, but see if I can connect up we made a tripod to charge a dragon shard for the earring. But I wonder if we can just manipulate that to put a charge into the sending stone. So we can actually use it as the sending stone. It's more intention of, I think the magic's going to be easier to channel
Okay.
if it's actually its intent and purpose of the item.
Yeah, sure. I think that's achievable. You can use the combination of yourself, Molokov, and Healthcare actually put some input in as well when he starts going, oh, I see what you've done here. And he's got old knowledge, but he understands how you've made something. And even Molokov, you understand now that you could listen to this dwarf for years and still learn things from him. Just little tricks that he goes, oh, well, if you've got that there, why don't you twist it this way? And it's like, then it suddenly just clicks into place a little bit better. And Hera and Puck, you kind of like see these nerds going at this thing and just twisting and turning. And, oh, wait, but if you turn it this way and if it does this thing, and you definitely spend an hour or two on it to set up this sending stone.
Cool. Sort of half an hour in, seeing it's working. So Puck, looks like we can do this. We could. Well, I mean, I look at Healthcare and just look back to Puck and say, "Guess we can wait till morning."
I think interrupting His Royal Highness in the middle of his beauty sleep is probably not a way to ingratiate ourselves. I'll go and sort out Elfgar's lodgings, and I'm going to go and chat with the front and explain. And,
Yeah.
let me know what it costs and stuff. We can work that out.
Yeah.
We
As you all kind of settle, gone.
I was just going to say, if I assume we're going to sleep here tonight and then move to Shan in the morning. Is there anyone in Shan that you think we should maybe take a look at, either tonight or tomorrow morning before we leave?
There's always
You want to do that again?
Vath. Is it Vath? Callie Keeling.
Oh,
Callie is probably good. Callie or Josu, but I think Callie is really the one we're trying to stop.
And I worry if your friend here knew I was looking at him, that perhaps Josu would be down to something like that as well.
what about
Puck said he had a job.
whatever the old professor was, the one in charge of Lawhold? Perhaps him.
The other professor.
The one who is doing the unveiling.
Yeah,
That's the one.
Yeah.
Professor Augusta Hollis. Would I know that professor? Or
Yeah, I believe we already determined you know who they are. It's another dean at the college. You just did not study under her.
no, but I don't know what they look like and stuff. But that would be probably a less difficult person to look at. But
Yeah, say whatever you see fit. Yeah, never been. So, kind of your expertise.
I suppose if he's the one who's supposed to be in charge of the crown, maybe he's the best. He might have.
I think it is. I think it is a good idea to focus on the college itself, because it's going to be our safe house once we get there, I guess. If things are bad inside, then we might struggle as soon as we land.
Do you want me to wait till the morning to do it then? Or
Yeah, if something is wrong, I think
Um,
it's not bad to see if we can do it tonight.
will we, with our situation and when we leave in the morning, because I think we talked about this, are we considering long rest and go later, or 4 hours from now get the fuck out?
I think we want to just get the fuck out of here. Like, there's clearly someone who's going to be very angry in the morning. We just want to be out of here.
possibly very angry.
Well,
2 hours.
Yeah, exactly. And if we're at the Royal Palace, that's probably about as secure a place as we can be against Snap.
That's fine. Shit.
And that
Just keep in mind, if you don't have a long rest, that'll bring in exhaustion into the next day.
That's okay. And how many? We're still like a week out from the supposed unveiling, date-wise.
No, we're down to days now.
Days, but there's
Because
at least a couple of days.
I'd say 1 or 2, yeah. The date wasn't given. It just said this
Oh,
week.
sure. Yeah, right. Okay. Ooh. I mean, unfortunately, I agree. Is everyone okay with that?
So what is it if
Still on the
we're
rest?
going to go first thing and we won't get a long rest because it's super late. We get a short rest
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's just the right way of doing it. We just got to get out of here.
Yeah.
It's not worth.
Was there a scry that was happening?
Yeah, I guess before we rest, then I will. I mean, like I know we're not having a long rest, but I will still, I guess, set myself up, pull the crystal ball out, and try and scry on the professor.
Sure. What's the scry thing?
Um,
Scrying. So you have, I'd say you've met them. Like you've definitely walked past them. You've been seen them to giving speeches and stuff like that.
Not familiar with them though.
Yeah, correct. And then you don't have any possession of them, but you have a likeness of them.
Yeah, I know. Who it is.
You pull out the crystal ball and you lay it out on this tome that you have, and you roll it around. Are you doing this in the room with everyone in it?
Yeah, I guess it would be before we split and go for a rest. Because I want to fill them in on anything that, and I'll probably be doing that as well. Like once I go into it, we'll just sort of start muttering and be sort of mumbling what I can see the whole time.
Yep. You move the crystal ball around, and again, the room kind of folds in on itself, and your vision goes into the crystal ball, and you are transported across the continent, and you see the silhouette and shapes of the city of towers, where you studied, where you gained your knowledge, where you lost a friend, where you met Molokov. All these memories started to come back. You focus in a little bit more, and the ball transports you to the college. You see these big towers and fields and courtyards, and eventually it kind of blurs. And then you see sitting in a kind of like a marble room, an office of sorts. You see Augusta Tullis, the dean of the College of Order and Law. Around her, you almost see a faint kind of green, white essence. You have heard stories that Augustus has the power to summon ghostly spirits for protection, almost like a spiritual weapon kind of thing. That's definitely her forte of magic. And in front of her, you see a glass container, square, a glass cube. It's frosted, and you can't quite see what's in it, but you see a very thin outline of almost a tiara shaped object. And she's sitting at her desk, and she's just staring at it. And staring at it and staring at it. And she goes, there's no one else in the room. And she goes, oh, the wonders will be able to show them. And the vision fades away. Can you roll your check, please? You're good. you come back out of the crystal ball.
I mean, the crown is definitely with the professor, but I don't know, something seems a little off.
Makes you say that.
Not that I don't also partake, but they seem to be talking to themselves. At least talking to someone that I could not see. But the crown is definitely there. Seems to be safe.
Talking to the crown?
I did wonder that.
Or is there something within the crown? Some presence? Intelligence?
Well, with our track record of ancient artifacts, so far, I stand correctly. We're 1 for 1 for sentient presences in all ancient things.
True.
Yeah. I do wonder.
What is it again? Sorry, that Tyrannisha's soul's in. It's was it a ring or was it a
ring.
Yeah.
ring?
It's a ring.
Which Jurasco has.
Brand.
Right. Well,
Still, I mean, benefit of the doubt, right? I've seen Hera talk to the floor a few times.
I mean, we're going there for a reason. Didn't think we expected it all to be smooth.
Yeah. Oh, hey, actually. How hospitable is the House of Galander? They have things under the table, potions, general commons.
Probably not. They're not a. This isn't a magical item store. They'll have like healing herbs or something tucked away somewhere, but not magical potions or things.
Enough that you could use it on a long rest, but not enough that would be like, here's some health potions and stuff.
Oh, Hera,
No,
I
exactly.
found these, and I'm going to give her the 2 scrolls. So it was a scroll of Fireball, and a scroll of
And hypnotic pattern.
Hypnotic Pattern, yeah.
Dartley's eyes. Happy birthday! You as a wizard finally have Fireball.
Sure, you'll be able to use them much more effectively than I can.
Harris just starts reading it out. Oh yeah, this one's interesting. It seems if I say this word.
End of campaign. Thank you guys for playing.
Hypnotic Pattern's fucking great as well, though. Nothing to be sneezed at.
Achoo.
All right,
Cool.
so as you kind of go down for a rest, I think we'll end there and start the day fresh. Well, 4 hours sleep to go into what's going to happen there.